Well, let's go back to the story around the SIU and the investigations it's conducted into the failed Giyani water treatment, failed project in Giyani. We're joined by Sello Lediga. He's ActionSA Limpopo provincial chairperson. So, Mr. Lediga, we've talked about the fact that you have, as ActionSA, have been pursuing this matter, at least trying to get to understand who all the actors are. Now that the SIU is done with its part of the investigation, what would you want to see happen?
Well, obviously we want to see justice taking its course, and we believe that the government of South Africa, and in particular in this project, there's an indication that the people of Giyani have been very patient. The people of Giyani live like animals when the state has spent 4.1 billion rands. And as ActionSA, it is something that we find completely intolerable. And we hope that after this report, it will be clear that it is not only a question of technicalities, it's that there's been a lot of corruption that has delayed the implementation of this project, and that the people of Giyani will continue to be supported by the people of South Africa, and that nothing will be set aside in order to make sure that justice must be seen to be done. I do not understand why 4.1 billion rands can be spent, on a project like this one, and people are not held accountable. Just yesterday, the Chief Justice was indicating, about the commission that he led. It is clear that unless the people of South Africa wake up, fight back, and the people of Giyani themselves have been very patient, I must assure you. My view is that it is time that they took drastic action to make sure that at the end of the day, those that are responsible for this scandal end up in jail. And we hope that we will never allow the state to continue to put this thing under the carpet and hope that people will forget. As ActionSA, we will pursue this matter even from now going forward to ensure that these companies, these officials, and all these politicians are brought to book, and that these people no longer live like animals. How is it possible that people can live like this when the state has spent so much money? And we believe that justice will ultimately take place, and ActionSA will do everything in its power to ensure that it supports the people of Giyani, and hope that the people of Giyani themselves will, I think at this stage, need to go to the streets and say enough is enough, because I don't think there's any other thing we can do.
Mr. Lediga, the reality is that we've seen many a protest over the last 2 years, over the last 10 years rather, that the scandal has lasted, and yet those very same residents continue to vote for the same party that oversaw this project. And I imagine that part of the reason why you as ActionSA have also taken this up as a cause is because you would be wanting to convince some of those very same residents to give you their vote in the upcoming elections. But when you look at the history and the pattern of voting that has taken place in Giyani, do you think that that will actually happen?
Oh, we have done as much as we can do as ActionSA. And we believe now that with this report, the state and the criminal justice system will take responsibility and ensure that these criminals who are responsible for this injustice end up in jail. I do not know whether we will succeed, but I believe that if the government of this country, including the president, do not do something about this, it will be very shameful. By the way, President Ramaphosa promised us in Giyani that should the people of Giyani not get water in March, the Minister of Water and Sanitation's head would actually fall. We've been waiting now for the last 6 months to see the head of the minister falling, but it has not happened. We believe that President Ramaphosa, as the head of this country, at this stage will take responsibility and make sure that justice is done, because I don't think it is possible for us to continue to campaign. The people of Giyani continue to struggle when there is a government that is democratically elected, and we are told that things will get better. As far as I'm concerned, we have reached a stage where action must be taken against the minister, where action must be taken against all those that are responsible for this injustice, and that ultimately we will see people in orange overalls that are responsible for this injustice, and that our people of Giyani will ultimately receive their water.
All right, we'll have to leave it there for tonight. Sello Lediga is the ActionSA's Limpopo provincial chairperson.